हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू मनु लॉ क्लासेस। मेरा नाम गौतम दीक्षित है। आज के इस वीडियो में वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस द इम्पोर्टेंट न्यूज फ्रॉम द हिंदू एडिशन ऑफ 25th April 2023. So, in this news, we are going to study about Operation Kaveri, about the evacuation of Indian citizens stuck in Sudan because of the ongoing political crisis between the paramilitary force and the army. So we will give in detail about the Operation Kaveri. Next, we will study about Article 200 of the Constitution. There is an editorial about it, which is an important editorial to understand a constitutional issue where some of the bills which are the governors, they withhold the assent. So in that light, we are going to study Article 200 and various Supreme Court judgment related to it. Apart from that, we are also going to see Vibrant Village program, which has been merged with PM Gati Shakti plan. That is also an important news, and the Hope Mission of United Arab Emirates. So let's start the news. So today is April 25th. So today is World Malaria Day. That is very important. World Malaria Day. तो ये वर्ल्ड मलेरिया डे जो है हम 25 अप्रैल को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं या ऑब्जर्व करते हैं एनुअली। वर्ल्ड हेल्थ असेंबली ने इसे अडॉप्ट किया था। 25 अप्रैल को डिक्लेयर किया था एज द वर्ल्ड मलेरिया डे बिकॉज इट कॉमेमोरेट्स द अडॉप्शन ऑफ अबूजा डिक्लेरेशन। अबूजा डिक्लेरेशन। सो अगर आप अबूजा डिक्लेरेशन देखेंगे तो ये डिक्लेरेशन था अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज का टू एंड मलेरिया इन अफ्रीका। ओके, सो दिस डिक्लेरेशन इट वाज अडॉप्टेड इन द ईयर 2000. The next is malaria. So malaria, it is, as you know, that is caused by Anopheles mosquito, and it is a disease which is caused by a parasite. ओके, तो इस पैरासाइट का नाम क्या है, हम क्या कहते हैं इसको? प्लाज्मोडियम पैरासाइट। प्लाज्मोडियम पैरासाइट। ओके, so this Anopheles mosquito, they carry this plasmodium parasite which get transferred into the human body, which causes malaria. Now there is a vaccine which has been approved by World Health Organization for malaria. उसका जो नाम है वो है RTS वैक्सीन, और इसका जो कमर्शियल नाम है, जिस नाम से ये मतलब बेचा जाता है, वो है मॉस्क्विरिक्स। द कमर्शियल नेम ऑफ RTS इज मॉस्क्विरिक्स। Okay, then moving further, we will study more about the Indian initiative for ending the malaria. One of the important information which you should know about malaria is that India aims to become malaria free by 2027 and it wants to eliminate malaria by 2030. Now please write me in the comment box the sustainable development goal which is related with health. The next is India braces to evacuate nationals from Sudan. तो हमने पहले भी पढ़ा है कि सूडान में पॉलिटिकल क्राइसिस चल रहा है। Okay, so it is between Abdul Fattah al-Burhan, who is the de facto ruler of Sudan, and Hamdan Dagalo, now who is the head of Rapid Support Forces. तो यहाँ पे जो एक डिसएग्रीमेंट हो गया है बिटवीन द पैरामिलिट्री रैपिड सपोर्ट फोर्सेस विच इज हेडेड बाय हमदान डैगलो एंड द सुडानीज आर्म्ड फोर्सेस which has taken over the power in Sudan after the transition to democracy failed last year. Okay, तो यहाँ पे सोशल सिक्योरिटी रिफॉर्म के बारे में दोनों में लड़ाइयाँ चल रही हैं, रैपिड सपोर्ट फोर्सेस और सुडानीज आर्म्ड फोर्सेस. सो दिस टू is led by two different generals who had staged a coup ousting the transition government which was established in Sudan and led by Abdullah Hamdok. So Omar al-Bashir जो पहले रूलर थे, you can say a dictator of Sudan, he was replaced after a civil uprising, after a civil unrest, and then there was a transition government headed by Abdullah Hamdok. Then that was ousted by the coup in Sudan led by Al-Fateh Burhan. So now there is a fight going on between these two persons, okay, Burhan and Hamdan Dagalo. Now in that crisis, Indians have been stuck. So now the government of India, they have launched Operation Kaveri to evacuate its nationals from Sudan. So यहाँ पर अगर आप देखेंगे तो हमने कल भी ये न्यूज़ किया था that India had earlier stationed two C-130J heavy lift aircraft in Jeddah and has sent INS Sumit to Port Sudan. Okay, ये साइड नहीं है, पोर्ट साइट जो है वो इजिप्ट में है, बट इट इज पोर्ट सुडान. Now 500 of the Indians they have reached Port Sudan. Now they will be evacuated. Now the next is a very important related to Project Cheetah, where 8 cheetahs were reintroduced in Kuno National Park and 12 from South Africa. Now 2 cheetahs have died in past few months. एक तो नाम है उदय, जो रिसेंटली जो चीता का जो डेथ हुआ है उसका नाम है उदय, और इसके पहले जो चीता का डेथ हुआ था फ्रॉम नाबिया वाज शाशा. Okay, so Shasha, she died of kidney ailments, and Uday has died, but now investigation is on to ascertain the cause of death. तो यहाँ पे जो मध्य प्रदेश फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट है, they have asked the central government for an alternative site for cheetahs, which are currently introduced at Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. तो यहाँ पे 2 felines they have died in less than a month. The next is S.P. Yadav, who is the head of the Project Cheetah and is a senior official in National Tiger Conservation Authority. He has told The Hindu that we haven't got such a request, but if we do, we will look at it. मतलब कि हमें मध्य प्रदेश के फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट से ऐसा रिक्वेस्ट नहीं मिला है, अगर मिलेगा तो हम देखेंगे. But he says that even if the 50% of the animal population survives, it should be considered as a success. Okay. नाउ इसी से रिलेटेड है, हमने कुछ दिन पहले 5th ऑल इंडिया टाइगर एस्टिमेशन पढ़ा था, तो उसमें हमने इंटरनेशनल बिग कैट अलायंस पढ़ा था. इंटरनेशनल बिग कैट अलायंस, तो ये अलायंस जो है इट वाज लॉन्च्ड ऑन द ओकेजन ऑफ द 50th एनिवर्सरी ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर, एंड इट कंटेन्स 7 बिग कैट्स विच आर अ टाइगर, लायन, लेपर्ड, स्नो लेपर्ड, then cheetah, then jaguar and puma. The next is an editorial about Article 200 pending bills, the issue of gubernatorial inaction. So यहाँ पे various states they have complained that the governors they withhold the assent on the bill and it impacts the governance of their state. So अगर आप एक system देखोगे state का, so there is a governor, then there is council of ministers. फाइन. तो यहाँ पे जो है गवर्नर इज ए फंक्शन ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ एड एंड एडवाइस प्रोवाइडेड बाय द काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज द प्रोसीजर दैट इफ द लेजिस्लेचर ऑफ द स्टेट, ओके, इफ दे पास एनी बिल, देन द बिल विल बिकम एक्ट इफ इट रिसीव्स गवर्नर्स एसेंट. ओके, अगर गवर्नर ने उस पर साइन कर दिया तब वो जो बिल है इट बिकम्स एक्ट. दैट इज द legislative procedure. So if you will see article 200, अब यहाँ पे देखिए importance आता है article 200 का. So article 200 it provides various options to the governor. So if you will see article 200 में जो options हैं, that to give the assent, कि prime minister ने अपना assent दे दिया. The second is to withhold assent. Then the next is to send it back to the assembly to reconsider the legislation, or to send the bill to the president for his consideration. अब जो एक केस है कि an assembly reconsiders the bill which has been sent back by the governor, okay, that is the third option. Then if the bill is again presented to the governor with or without amendment, so यहाँ पे लॉजिकल ये है कि जो गवर्नर they should give the assent to the bill. So यहाँ पे ये है कि that it is only logical to think that when the constitution gives certain options to the governor, he is required to exercise one of them. Sitting on a bill passed by the assembly is not an option given by the constitution. मतलब यहाँ पे withholding the assent, if you will see, it is one of the option, but sitting on the bill means not taking any decision on the bill. Okay, that is not mentioned in the constitution. So if you will see, यहाँ पे एक और आर्टिकल mentioned है, that is article 355. So states का कहना है कि जब गवर्नर किसी बिल पे कोई डिसीजन न ले, ठीक है, उस पर बैठ जाए, या ना एसेंट दे रहा है ना उसको वापस रिटर्न कर रहा है लेजिस्लेचर को, सो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि जो स्टेट है वो अपना जो फंक्शन है वो कर नहीं सकता. सो यहाँ पे फिर क्या हो जाता है कि आर्टिकल 355 का इम्पोर्टेंस यहाँ पे आता है, बिकॉज रिसेंटली तमिलनाडु असेंबली दे हैव पास्ड अ रेजोल्यूशन अर्जिंग द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया टू फिक्स अ टाइमलाइन फॉर एसेंट टू बी गिवन टू बिल्स पास्ड बाय द असेंबली, कि एक टाइमलाइन फिक्स किया जाए कि ताकि जो बिल गवर्नर को जा रहा है उसको टाइमली एसेंट मिल सके. ओके, सो इफ यू विल सी दैट इफ दैट इज नॉट डन, सो सी यहाँ पे आर्टिकल 355 है, दैट इट सेज दैट इट शैल बी द ड्यूटी ऑफ द यूनियन to ensure that the government of every state is carried on in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. Okay, so यहाँ पे ये है कि now it is a duty of the union government to see that the constitution is carried on in accordance with the provisions of the constitution, कि वहाँ पे गवर्नर को एक टाइम में एसेंट दे देना है, ठीक है. अगर नहीं देना है तो जो बिल है उसको वापस करे लेजिस्लेचर को, फिर लेजिस्लेचर जो है वो अपना व्यू उसके ऊपर प्रेजेंट करेगी. सो दैट थिंग हैज टू बी एडहर्ड टू. नाउ द नेक्स्ट इज वन एग्जांपल ऑफ यूनाइटेड किंगडम. सो यूनाइटेड किंगडम में देखिए क्या है. यूनाइटेड किंगडम में ये सिस्टम है कि दैट द किंग, okay, or the monarch, they can only refuse the assent to the bill if it has been recommended by the council of ministers. So if there is refusal of royal assent on the ground that the monarch strongly disapprove a bill, it will be deemed as unconstitutional. Okay, monarch can disapprove the bill only if the council of minister advises. Fine. Now if can we have certain provisions in our constitution. So if you will see that under article 144 of the constitution, the governor can exercise his executive powers only on the advice of council of ministers. So there was a view that the governor can withhold assent to a bill only on ministerial advice, but some experts have said कि अगर गवर्नमेंट को बिल पास ही नहीं करना है तो गवर्नमेंट लेजिस्लेचर से उस बिल को विड्रॉ कर सकती है. Okay, now coming to the issue of justiciability, there are certain important cases to be discussed. So we will see that one of the judgment is Purushottam Namboothiri versus State of Kerala. यहाँ पे जो issue था that was that a bill which is pending with the governor, it does not lapse on the dissolution of the assembly. Fine, but it has not dealt with the process of assent. Then similarly there is Hoist Pharmaceutical Limited and others versus State of Bihar. It deals with the power of the governor to reserve a bill for the consideration of the president. तो यहाँ पे कोर्ट ने क्या हेल्ड किया है that if governor reserves a bill for the consideration of the president in exercise of his discretion, then the court cannot go into the question of whether it was necessary for governor to reserve the bill for the president. But now coming to the constituent assembly debates. So the framers of the constitution, उन्होंने कभी ये imagine नहीं किया होगा कि that governors they would sit on bills indefinitely without exercising any of the options given in article 200. So for them, for the states which are ruled by opposition parties, so this is a new development which needs new solution within the framework of the constitution. Now coming to a Wagner group, ठीक है, तो इसमें जो है आपको बस इतना याद रखना है कि ये एक रशियन पैरामिलिट्री ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है which is headed by Yevgeny Prigozhin. Fine, and it has been engaged in counter militancy operations in Africa, and it has been involved in extensive scope covering political, economic and military fields. तो जो सूडान में जो क्राइसिस चल रहा है तो वहाँ पे भी जो वैगनर ग्रुप है वो एक्टिव है. सो इट इज़ एक्टिव इन सूडान, माली, सेंट्रल अफ्रीकन रिपब्लिक, मोजाम्बिक एंड लीबिया इन अफ्रीका. जो वैगनर ग्रुप है इट प्रेजेंट्स इटसेल्फ एज अ सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइडर टू अ फ्यू गवर्नमेंट्स, मोस्टली द अथॉरिटेरियन वंस इन अफ्रीका. नाउ एक यूनाइटेड नेशन रिपोर्ट है जून 2021 का विच हैज सेड दैट प्राइवेट मिलिट्री ग्रुप्स लाइक वैगनर दे हैव वायलेंटली हैरेस्ड पीपल and they have committed sexual violence. The next is India-China hold frank and in-depth talk. So it is the 18th round of talk which happened between the senior military commanders of both the countries on the Chinese side of Chushul-Moldo border meeting point. So here the discussions have been frank. Okay, so that it has been the 18th round of talk since April 2020 LAC crisis. अब यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे तो डिस्कशन होने के बाद भी if you will see that there are two remaining friction points in India-China relation, that is Demchok and Depspang. तो यहाँ पे if you will see that disengagement has happened over 4 other areas along the LOC, but Demchok and Depsang remains. If you will see the 18th round of talks, so it was talk which was followed by the first in-person meeting of the working mechanism for consultation and coordination on India-China border affairs since July 2019, which was held in Beijing in February. The next is Vibrant Villages plan to be merged with PM Gati Shakti. तो हमने इस प्लान के बारे में पहले भी किया था that Vibrant Village program it aims to develop infrastructure and open up the villages along the China border to tourists. So now it will be integrated with Prime Minister Gati Shakti mega project. one of the aim of Vibrant Village program is to stop migration of border population, okay, and then to improve the security by helping the local people to gather intelligence from the border villages. अब ये जो स्कीम है, it was recently approved on February 15th and it covers 2967 villages in 46 border blocks of 19 districts in 4 states and 1 union territory along the India-China border. और उसका फाइनेंशियल एलोकेशन है, it is rupees 4,800 crore. Now what is PM Gati Shakti plan? So it is a digital platform for infrastructure connectivity projects and it integrates 16 ministries including railways and highways through its digital portal. Then it also utilizes Bhaskaracharya National Institute for Space Applications and Geoinformatics for providing satellite images and GIS mapping of the projects, which is the part of this. The next is about the malaria. So malaria is said to be the notifiable disease across India even as cases shows decline. तो अभी जो malaria is a notifiable disease in 33 states and union territories. Few more states will now make it a notifiable disease, that is Bihar, Meghalaya and Andaman and Nicobar Island, and it will become the notifiable disease across India. It means what? That cases should be reported to government authorities. Means malaria cases should be reported to government authorities. Now see what is the India's vision for malaria. So India wants to become malaria free by 2027 and it wants to eliminate the disease by 2030. Along with that, the health ministry has initiated a joint action plan with Ministry of Tribal Affairs for malaria elimination in tribal areas. The next is malaria cases. So if you will see in the Southeast Asia region, okay, so there is a decline in malaria cases. India has witnessed a 85.1% decline in malaria cases and 83.36% decline in death during 2015-22. Then there has been a portal, that is HIP Malaria Portal, to provide near real-time data monitoring through integrated health information platform. Now the next is Panchayati Raj Day. So yesterday it was the Panchayati Raj Day, 24th April, because the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, which gave the constitutional status to Panchayati Raj, was passed on 24th April 1993. The next is appointment. So veteran politician Mohammad Shahabuddin has been sworn in as the 22nd President of Bangladesh. Okay, so this is one-liner news, so please note it down in your book. The next is Hope Space Probe of United Arab Emirates. It is Arab world's first interplanetary mission, which is orbiting Mars for last 2 years and is flying past 2 satellites of or moon of the Mars. One is the smaller one, Deimos, and the next is the bigger one, that is Phobos. Now again one-liner news from technology. Leading Russian technology company Spare on Monday announced the launch of its conversational artificial intelligence app to rival the US start ChatGPT. Okay, so it will be called as GigaChat. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा, GigaChat, it will be launched by Spare SBER Spare, okay, to rival the ChatGPT. तो ChatGPT जो है, it is owned by OpenAI. The next is Bangladesh list out its priorities for Indo-Pacific. So now Indo-Pacific region में अब बांग्लादेश का भी अपना पॉलिसी है. Okay, so यहाँ पे they will work with all stakeholders for peacekeeping, peace building and counter-terrorism initiative in Indo-Pacific region. Okay, then Dhaka, that is Bangladesh, it supports rule-based international order and free and uninterrupted movement and trade. Then it will aim for inclusive development by strengthening free, transparent and rule-based international order. So if you will see that Bangladesh will also pursue the agenda of women, peace and security in the Indo-Pacific region. जो डॉक्यूमेंट का जो पॉलिसी का जो नाम है वो है बांग्लादेशेर इंडो-पैसिफिक रूपरेखा. The next is Fox News and Dominion lawsuit. तो Fox News और जो Dominion वोटिंग सिस्टम है इनका सेटलमेंट हुआ था $787.5 मिलियन. ठीक है, तो इसमें फॉक्स न्यूज़ के ऊपर एलिगेशन था कि दे हैव गिवन फॉल्स क्लेम्स दैट द 2020 presidential election has been manipulated in favor of Democrat Joe Biden. So it was settled out of the court. Now the top rated host in Fox News Media, Tucker Carlson, he has agreed to part away with the media company Fox News. So friends, that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow again with a daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice time. Take care. Thank you.